Hello, boys and girls, it's Miss Emma, and this is the Speech Sound King. In case you haven't already heard the Speech Sound King story, let me show you it now. It's The Tales of the Magic Ant, and you can get it as a big book for your classroom. If you get the new big book, it's also got the Spelling Cloud poems in it. Jimmy, the large, gentle giant, couldn't help but frown. He needed to adjust his belt before his pants fell down. There are lots and lots of poems. Let me read you another one. It's not every day that goldfish swim away from a ghost on a hot air balloon. And if that made you giggle, then look in the middle. There's a hen in a dish with a spoon. Bang, bam, bam went the hammer. Bam, bam, bam went the mouse. Stop, 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 said the speech sound lamb, and the cat ran away to her house. So let's look at the big book. Let's look at the story, The Tales of the Magic Ant. The Speech Sound King found an ant one day. It was digging in the garden growing corn. He realised the ant was not an ordinary ant, so he left him with his hoe on the lawn. The next day the king watched the ant with a rock as he carried it a mile on his own. Never had he seen an ant with such powers, such a big heavy rock, but not a moan. Then he discovered why the ant was so strong, and watched with a look of alarm. The ant lifted weights, and he ran on the spot. Then he lifted his weight with one arm. What kind of an ant, thought the king to himself, is able to do all these things? He works out and gardens, gets hot dogs and sauce. I bet he can play, dance and sing. The king had a son, but he lived far away, so he sent for his servant called Stan. He wanted to send to the prince right away the ant with a snack in a pan. How would the prince know to keep the lid shut so the ant couldn't run away? He needed to send him a message. He needed to find a new way. He thought of the sounds when he said these 3 words. Ant in pan has just 5 different sounds, an a and a n and a t, I and p, but he scratches at his head as he frowns. If I draw 4 sound pictures and draw them a line from the left to the right in the book, he might work it out. He might work out the code. He must use his brain power and look. If he follows the sounds and then says the word, he can work out the message, you see. And then he can add to the code so he can write a note which he'll send back to me. So this is the story of how the king's book was written, a story so very exciting, a code you can crack if you try, but you first need your own dictionary. To write every word that we say speaking English, he sorted the clouds for each sound, and now he is asking if you can join in and tell us of new ones you've found. While he was on his journey to the prince, do you think he got out of the pan? And if he escaped, what adventures did he have? Share your stories with me about the magic ant. So welcome to the Speech Sound Picks approach. Now you're part of the SSP family. And I don't care how old you are. So that's how he created the dictionary. They coded all of the words that we use, and they used the dictionary so they could pass messages backwards and forwards. So he made the choices for the speech sounds like g, r, r, s, grass. Within SSP, we're always asking ourselves, have I learnt something new? Well, I think we have, because look, we've got 2 S's together there, that's the letter names. We've got 2 pictures of s. Do I say g, r, r, s, s? Do I say grass, s? No, I say grass. So I only say s once. So we've learnt there something. We've learnt that if two are together, we don't say it twice. So there's a cloud for every speech sound, and all the pictures for that speech sound are inside the clouds. But you're not actually going to learn all of these. You're not going to memorize them or anything. You're going to discover them through lots and lots of really meaningful activities. Because as you move through, you need to learn the skills and concepts needed for reading and spelling. SSP is called a Big Six program. That means that it's not a phonics program, even though we do include phonics. We cover everything. But you need to have these clouds on your walls. You need to be able to see them all the time. Some teachers have got nice big classrooms. You've got lots of space to put the clouds up so that you can look at them whenever you want to. Some teachers put them on big old TV boxes and things, covering them up so that you can see the clouds. You can move them around the classroom. You'll also have the spelling cloud posters on your tables. Use your spelling cloud keyring that you carry everywhere. All the pictures for S, S. There they all are. S, 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 S. All of these are pictures for S. This is the first one we look at. This is a high frequency sound pick for S. All the spelling choices for all the speech sounds in our English language. Carry it around everywhere on your keyring. You'll learn the high frequency sound picks. They're the sound picks that we use a lot. You'll learn them in the 4 code levels. There's about 90 of them. But we make sure you're actually using them for writing and reading activities. That's why it's more than just phonics. So you're learning these high frequency sound picks, but you're discovering the others using the spelling clouds, using activities like the Speedy 6 spelling activity every day. You'll do a lot of code mapping, which means your speech sounds are mapped with the letter or letters. That's why we call them pictures of speech sounds, speech sound picks. We use duck hands, lines and numbers, and that actually wires your brain for absolutely fantastic reading and spelling skills. You still need to understand what it is you're coding, but it gives you a really, really good skill set. We also want to make sure you're having fun all the time, that everything is meaningful. Now, when you're doing your duck hands, the thing to remember is every time your mouth changes, your tongue moves, that's going to be a new speech sound pick. So we start from speech. What do we say? What are the smallest, the very smallest parts of our speech, and how do we map them with the letters, the sound picks? If you can say the word and hear the speech sounds, they're called phonemes, you can code map every single word. This is the spelling cloud that shows all the pictures for the speech sound eh. Remember, a speech sound is a specific kind of sound. It's a sound we make when we speak. Every single word is made up of speech sounds. There are about 44 or 46 speech sounds that we use. That's it, for every single word that we say. And those speech sounds are represented with about 200 sound picks. We've only got 26 letters, so we use those 26 letters in different combinations to build the 200 or so sound picks. If I listen to the speech sounds in the word said, how many times does my mouth move or my tongue change? S, d. 3 times. So there are only 3 sound picks needed for that word. What's the picture for the middle sound? It would sit on line number 2. S, d, said. Let's see if these children can work it out.
Amazing! And right now, I
YouTube or Facebook, I can't remember what it was. I said, these children, because somebody was saying, children in year 2 can't spell the word said.
Yeah, we can.
And I said, well, do you know, not only can they spell the word said, they will, wait, video to show this person on YouTube.
Olivia.
3. Draw the 3 lines.
Good job, Olivia.
And put your choices on the top.
Good job, Zach.
Because how would they spell the word said? So have a look in the the speech sound cloud. Can you see the picture for in the word said? It was AI, wasn't it? And that's the reason, really, we have letter names. The letter names are just for organising things. We actually don't need letter names for reading and spelling, for code mapping at all. In fact, if we try and learn the letter names, because before we understand how to code map, it can get really confusing. We tend to learn the letter names in SSP when the children need them for using the dictionary, and also when they're ready, when they understand what code mapping is. Tends to be round about the end of the purple code level. So when we're thinking about the speech sound the picture for the speech sound in the word said is used using the letters AI. So that's when I need those letter names, because I can say to you, it's the AI. It might have been the in the word friend. And it's a lot easier if I can say to you, it's the IE. That's the picture for in friend. Or supposing you're writing about a leopard. It's much easier if I can say to you, the picture for in the word leopard is an EO. So that's when it's really important to have letter names, just for labelling, just because it makes it easier. All of these are pictures for And didn't those children do well, spelling the word said, using the speech sounds and the sound picks? They used their duck cans, lines and the numbers. It organises the speech sounds with the sound picks used to represent those speech sounds. So it's a much more advanced form of phonics because it covers the whole code. So your code mapping is very important.
You've got to use your duck hands to check the sounds you've heard, then just lines and number them when spelling any word.
Listen for the speech sounds and also listen to your teacher.